This episode is brought to you by Novilla Mattresses, where comfort meets innovation, giving you the perfect night's sleep you've been dreaming of. Are you tired of tossing and turning all night, struggling to find a comfortable position? Look no further than Novilla Mattresses, the ultimate sleep solution designed with your comfort in mind. Experience the luxury of a good night's sleep with Novilla's advanced mattress technology. Their mattresses are crafted using the finest materials, providing the perfect balance of support and softness. Whether you prefer a plush feel or a firmer surface, Novilla has a mattress that caters to your unique sleep preference. But what sets Novilla apart from the rest? It's their commitment to innovation and quality. Each mattress is thoughtfully engineered to provide optimal spinal alignment, reducing pressure points and ensuring you wake up feeling refreshed and rejuvenated every morning. Say goodbye to restless nights and hello to blissful sleep with Novilla's cutting-edge cooling technology. Their mattresses are designed to regulate temperature, keeping you cool and comfortable throughout the night. No more waking up in a sweat, just pure, uninterrupted sleep. Worried about allergens and dust mites? Don't be. Novilla mattresses are hypoallergenic and resistant to common allergens, ensuring a healthier sleep environment for you and your loved ones. And here's the best part. Novilla is committed to affordability. They believe that everyone deserves a great night's sleep without breaking the bank. That's why their mattresses are competitively priced, giving you the best value for your money. But don't just take our word for it. Join the thousands of satisfied customers who have already made the switch to Novilla. Even when your mom comes to my place, just know she's getting a great night's sleep, among other things. Experience the difference for yourself and discover what it truly means to sleep like you've never slept before. Using promo code Schweezy or the link in our description, you can save 10% off any purchase you make through Novilla directly. Ready to transform your sleep experience? Visit their website today and choose the Novilla mattress that suits your needs. Your journey to a better night's sleep starts now with Novilla mattresses. And a reminder, when you use our links, you directly support this show. When you want it the most, there's no easy way out. When you're ready to go and your heart's left in doubt, don't give up on your faith. Love comes to those who believe it, and that's the way it is. That's the way it is. Hello, and what is going on, my fellow Schwoke Lords? What is up? Welcome back to yet another episode of Cancel Schweezy.
Move, bitch, get out of my fucking way. It's Black History Month.
Continuing Black History Month by telling women to get out of your way in New York City. Only if you're black, though. If you're not black, you can't ask white women to get out of your way. Those are the rules. You know, I didn't make them up. Those are just the Black History Month rules that we all have to, generally follow and whatnot. What's going on, everyone? It's been 1 week since you looked at me. I don't want to sing bare naked ladies. But yeah, no, it's been a week. We finished football season. Thank fucking God, dude, that football season is now over because, one, football memes are the worst memes I've ever seen in my entire life. They get them right at the Super Bowl. But, like, NFL means, like, the Dallas Cowboys are gay. Like, that's the meme, Like, POV, you're a Dallas Cowboys fan, and you're just like, I'm gay! Or you're like, I play for the Dallas Cowboys.
I'm not gay no more. I am delivered.
And I'm like, this isn't funny. I'm like, a team isn't doing very good for some reason. I'm like, who cares? Like, I don't know anyone on the team. Like, I don't know. I mean, people get way too invested in football players too, and it's really a problem where people are like, how come these football players aren't being good role models to my children? I'm like, okay, first of all, let's get inside. Football players should not be considered role models. They hit people and they move a ball from one place to another. That's all they do. They're not role models. Like, none of these guys, like, we're like, if you want to be in the NFL, you got to show that you're a real role model. I'm like, no, you don't. Like, half of those guys, as the great Neil Brennan likes to say, when they eventually, start assaulting people, it's like they did football at the wrong time. Like, they play. Sometimes if they do football at the wrong time, and then you just beat the shit out of a woman. You're just like, you did football at the wrong time. That's how it is. But my favorite has been, but one thing that's been interesting about this football season, which I only have to know about because no one will shut the fuck up about it, is all the magtards, as I like to call them. They were really upset with Taylor Swift for just being there, and just the fact that she's kind of like openly a Democrat or whatever, and like it wasn't, she's not even no agenda, nothing. Just be like she's the Antichrist, and then they're making up shit like Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce are gonna give birth to the Antichrist. And I'm like, gee, I don't even know how to go about how dumb that sentence you said to me is, or whatever. It is just, I don't know. It is very, very dumb. That Taylor Swift's going to be bringing in the Antichrist. I'm like, I don't know, dude. That sounds, even though I know that shit's made up, especially, believe in the Bible all you want, but we all know, we can all pretty much guess that if you actually look at, the historical context, everyone was making fucking end time predictions and shit like that. And, when you make prophecies, it's called just straight up lying. A prophecy, even if you're just like, oh, they made somebody write about Jesus, like he would be born in the Middle East. And you're like, okay, I know there's more to it than that. I know. But yeah, it's really funny. But no, the funniest shit I saw written about it is that magtards are Trump supporters. They think the NFL is fake, but WWE wrestling is real. And that pretty much sums up that entire debate put together. I'm like, the NFL is fake, but WWE is real. Now, for those of you who don't know, WWE is wrestling. It's not that gay wrestling. You do it like they do at high schools and shit like that. This is real. Well, this is, I don't even know if we can say, this is like entertaining wrestling, where it's just like, it's basically just like theater for like guys, like especially dumb guys. Like that's what WWE is. And when you know it's fake and you treat it like theater, like it actually is a lot of fun. So I'm not talking shit on wrestling. I'm only talking shit on the wrestling fans who think it's real. And you're just like, look at that. There's no way that guy could fake that. I'm like, yeah, he can. It's a fucking theater show. That's all it is. It's a theater show that you're going to and shit like that. But it did make me think about, though, I could see the NFL being, at least this season, being somewhat fake, and I'm not saying it in regards to athletic performance, so I don't want to like disrespect any athletes, because I know you guys work hard you've had to have worked hard to get to the NFL. It's like you can't not, it's not like shit's going to happen I assume that's how it works. Like maybe your parents were a professional athlete and they might recruit you because you have the same genetics and shit like that, But I don't want to say anything about like an athlete's performance or whatever, because I'm not the expert there. What I can say though is I do know about like TV and how like, and because it's just more of like public relations and shit like that, where it comes down to, and the idea that Taylor Swift started going to more Chiefs games because she started dating a guy on the team. And then they make it to the Super Bowl and then win the Super Bowl because more people are tuning in, watching Taylor Swift at these games. And so that means more viewers, which means since more viewers are going to be coming in, that means they can charge advertisers more. And, it's just that big circle of capitalism, So, like, I couldn't see, like, hey, Taylor Swift just being at the game increases our numbers. And so I could see them like, we should keep this going. That way, more people are watching, and that means higher dollar amounts for advertisers. Like when the Chiefs play, there's going to be a higher dollar amount for advertisers. And that, I think that would make sense. But like I said, I don't know the ins and outs of the NFL. I can't really tell you. But like, you could put those two together. But I think most people think they're doing like, it's fake because Taylor Swift has like a liberal agenda that she's trying to like get through, and people think it's the woke media, the fake news are coming after her. They're using Taylor Swift to to make sure Donald Trump doesn't get elected again. I'm like, shut up, dude. Like, not everything's that big of a conspiracy theory. I'm like, people would actually believe you what I said if you said that's the reason why it's fake is because it increases TV viewership, and the advertisement, all that stuff. So honestly, that if you use that argument, you have a point. Using your like liberal agenda talking points, like that's not a good argument, because I feel like a majority of football fans are not liberals. I'm just making a guess here. I don't think artistic guys like me are excited for the Super Bowl. I'm just like, fuck that. Usher, fuck that, dude. I made kids at school watch the Billy Joe Armstrong meltdown when like they cut their set short for Usher, and I'm like, this is how I feel. That's how I felt watching that thing. I don't know. Yeah, Super Bowl's been very black. The halftime shows have been very black. I think they need to. Actually, I'm not going to comment on that. I don't know what the best idea is. I don't mind it. I think they're good art. I just like. I don't want to watch fucking Usher though, dude. Like The Weeknd's cool. I like him. The Dre, Snoop, Eminem year was cool. Yeah, I don't know. That's my thought. I've also been watching the X-Men animated series because I think X-Men 97 is coming out. So I'm just kind of, going through all the good episodes, checking them out. And I discovered something that will literally ruin all of your days. Whatever day you're listening to this on, your day is about to be ruined. And I'm just going to tell you right now. In X-Men 97, they took away Rogue's, as the kids say, yacht. They took away her booty, her cake, as I would like to say. They took away Rogue's cake. And I got to say, I'm not happy about it, Disney. What the fuck are you doing, Disney, where you're taking the cake away from Rogue, okay? You feed us poison, so we buy your cures while you suppress our medicine, Disney. Bring back Rogue's yacht. That would be a good, was it charity? Was it my social, what do you call it? Social justice warriors, activist. That's my activist stuff. I'm like, stop making cartoon women not hot, okay? You can make ladies, if you're comparing your bodies to cartoons, you should see a therapist, okay? Don't be, because like, I guess their argument is like, we don't want body dysmorphia coming into girls and stuff like that. But girls, just don't compare yourselves to real women that exist, the photoshopped ones. Don't compare yourselves to cartoons because we make cartoons hot on purpose. That's the whole reason why we do anything. And the fact that Rogue, who like many others awoke something in me when I was younger, awake something in me right now, to be honest with you. And I'm watching cartoons. That's even more sad that I'm doing that. But we got to get Rogue off the Ozempic, Disney. You can't be doing that. What's going to happen when we start casting a new Rogue in live action? Who are you going to hire? Rosie O'Donnell to play Rogue? None of us want that, okay? We need a hot Rogue. Southern, goth, hot. That's all that matters. That's all you have to do. She can be black too. I don't care as long as she's hot, And also give her yacht back, okay? I need this, Disney. I need this, okay? Please, I need this, okay? But no, I'm also like very curious because eventually, or was it?
Because the brownies.
So we all know that the X-Men are coming into the MCU, and we're assuming they're going to do some sort of like multiverse with the old Fox X-Men, like Patrick Stewart, and then we're going to have like a whole new mutant thing going on here, and that's when Marvel's really going to have their comeback because I think they need to start introducing, because my thoughts are like they need to start introducing new characters. So it's like, for me, it's like if, Doom, Doctor Doom needs to just enter the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The Fantastic Four, they're coming. But yeah, like with the X-Men, I'm like, we got to have a hot Rogue, okay? You know what? The thicker, the better. That's,
Here's something to think about.
Okay. I'm also curious how they're going to adapt racism in the 60s, which is what the X-Men are. It's a metaphor for racism in the 60s. If you haven't read anything about civil rights, at least in the United States, go for it, because that'll probably be your Lord and Savior. But yeah, it's supposed to do that. But by the time, because it's like we're in the 2020 something now, and and it's honestly, it could make a lot of sense for them to do like a time jump, and just to make, all these movies are in the future, but it's also still kind of looks like the past, And then like you also have Magneto's like Holocaust origins, which the more time passes, the harder it is to pull off. I guess all they can do is really be like, I guess he ages slowly because the Earth's magnetism or something, that would make sense. But I don't know. I would look forward to like a younger Magneto and Professor X, I feel like Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen are a little too old. I don't even know back then if they were, but now they're definitely too old. But I still want to see them in the roles though, because they're so rad about it. Like, I don't know if they're comically accurate. Those movies weren't super accurate, and they really wanted to take some liberties with character looks and stuff like that. But I feel like it was more like you liked it because it was Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen versus like accurate depictions of the character. But they both did. It's like Heath Ledger's like not really the Joker from the stories, but it's a great interpretation, and stuff like that. But anyways, though, make sure you're checking out my music under Schweezy. That's wherever you get your music at. It's going to be under Schweezy. That's me. Social media at TheSchweezy as well. Make sure you're going over there and following little daddy over here. Daddy. And follow daddy, and then you get to see what I'm up to and all the cool shit that I do. We got a Patreon page, Cash App, and PayPal. All significantly great ways to say thank you for being a friend and to financially support the show in any way possible. It's all great ways for you to help. But make sure you do all the free shit if you're listening to the show on an audio platform. Go check out our YouTube page because we are posting stuff over there all the time. And we would love for you to at least be subscribed over there and leave us comments. Leaving comments is a great way to support a show, and liking and subscribing and all that stuff. But if you're on the audio platform, obviously leave us a review and give us a 5, 4, 3, 2, or 1 star rating. So,
well, damn, Jackie, I can't control the weather.
So let's just jump into previous week right now. What is previous week right now, you may be asking? Well, we're just going over all the news I saw last week that I have decided to jump into right now. So
let's just jump into it.
This is from the Roy's Report. Exclusive open letter to Mike Bickle from alleged victim Tammy Woods. Last week, a Michigan woman came forward with a bombshell story accusing International House of Prayer founder Mike Bickle of sexually abusing her, beginning when she was 14. Now that woman, identified by her maiden name, Tammy Woods, has released the following letter addressed to Mike and Diane Bickle. Woods said she wrote the letter on January 30th after realizing she could no longer keep the alleged abuse secret. Woods told the Roy's Report that she never sent the letter, but the process of writing it was cathartic, and eventually helped her come forward to her pastors, lawyer Bose Chivinajan, police, and the Kansas City Star. Wood's sister contacted the Roy's Report this morning, asking if we would publish the letter showing her sister's heart and her appeal to make things right. After confirming with Woods that was her wish, we agreed. So this is on January 30th. Mike Bickle, if you're watching this, I want you to know, probably the title of the highlights being like, Mike Bickle, please watch this video. This is the part for you. I'm going to read this letter to you, and I think you should have to sit there and listen to it because you are a bad guy, and you should listen to this and, try to atone for your sins, okay? Dear Mike and Diane Bickle, with the conclusion of our church's 21-day fast and season of earnestly seeking the heart of God, it is with a heavy heart and sober mind that I now enter the arena. Please know it's been a long time and long struggle coming. I sent this letter not as a threat, power play, or in a spirit of vindictiveness as a woman scorned, rather as an appeal to you to meet me in the arena and responsibly own bygone chapters of the story. I understand that you asked my forgiveness decades ago, and even as recently as this past fall, and I indeed forgave you with all my heart, even helping you in the present crisis in the spirit of Proverbs 17:17. I made a vow in my young heart to cover you all the days of my life because I believed you when you took initiative to right the ship and cut things off for the sake of righteousness and those we love. Though I felt utterly abandoned by you at 16 years old, I believe you and I resolved to take those chapters of the story to the grave. For 43 years, I have done just that, and I have covered you in love. In 1996, as a young mom, you gave me an anguishing final goodbye, endeavoring to never speak with me again. For the sake of all that is right and true, I agree with you, and I dove headlong into the Word of God, where Jesus began the tedious and tender process of piecing my shattered heart and identity back together and grounding me in His love. For 5 years, I did not speak with you, as the Lord held my heart and drove my roots deep into His. It was only when you returned to St. Louis in 2001 that our lines of communication opened again, this time surrounding the house of prayer. Seeing you again reopened old wounds, but my roots were deep by then, and I was anchored firmly in the Lord's love and strength. From that time on, we were able to engage as distant friends and laborers in the prayer movement. I had great respect for and admiration of who you emerged to be and all that the Lord was accomplishing in and through you. I was deeply grateful for your tangible help in my own personal storms of life and ministry, as well as the Lord's overarching redemptive work and protective covering. I love that my children affectionately called you Uncle Mike. We made it, or so I thought. This past fall, however, everything changed, though not immediately. Initially, I refused to believe anything that was said against you because I had an altogether different frame that no one but Jesus could see or understand. I knew personally your moral failure and wrestle and repentance when I was just 14 years old. I knew your gratitude to the Lord first and foremost, and to me for a clean slate and second chance. This is where I thought we left off, and in the personal pursuit of Jesus' healing, sans professional counseling, or the confidence of another human being, I vehemently covered you in love. Therefore, no human being was more defiant in the face of the accusations against you than I. I knew the gift you had been given, and I was confident you would never squander that before the Lord. In all these years, no one has inquired into my past with you, save for my sister's insinuations and open confrontations against IHOP Kansas City. The more wholeness I gained in heart and the more notoriety you gained in being a godly and generous man, the further we journeyed from those dark chapters. It would have remained so to the grave, just as I vowed, had I not read Redacted's detailed victim statement. The parallels took my breath away as I realized I had the screenplay to her feature film. I told this to you, even still, at your own confession of misconduct. I resolved to cover you, though no longer as much for your own heart as for my own family and personal heart. I ardently wished to stay off of the radar and out of the drama. As this 21-day fast progressed, the Lord began to tenderize my otherwise armored up heart. He led me to reread a book called Daring Greatly by Brene Brown that encourages the owning of our stories and the embrace of vulnerability for the sake of authenticity. I felt his gentle but firm nudges in the last number of weeks. I have outright lied to 3 loved ones when I asked a direct question about my past with you. Others have baited me with concerned text, to which I hearted away with a thank you, all is well, but all is not well with my soul, nor should it be. I cannot live my life as a liar. It chafes my soul. When I vowed to take your inappropriate relationship with underage me to the grave, I did so to cover you in love. Whether that was an example of trauma bonding by a victim of clergy sexual emotional abuse, I cannot say, but my heart was postured to forgive and cover because I believed everyone deserves a second chance. And for all intents and purposes, it seemed as if you took yours to thriving and God-glorifying measures. But unfortunately, as I, along with the world, have discovered, this was far from the perceived reality. You continued grooming and exploiting and cover-upping with slight variations and apparently more honed maneuvering. This is not a falsity, but a well-worn and recognizable rut in your life that only the eyes of a 43-year-old long friend, sadly turned victim, can recognize. I can no longer cover you in love because it was never covering, was it? Please filter this properly. I am not betraying you in this letter because the covering I once offered to you was given to a man who in actuality never existed. Your sons didn't grow up with an incarcerated father, and for this I am grateful, as you should be too. But I cannot and will not live as a liar before the ones I love, because that what was once covering is now complicitly in an anguishing pride and denial-driven cover-up, regardless of what investigative reports imply. Please do not conclude this to be defamation of character, attention-seeking, gold-digging, or vindictive revenge. We have too much history for such impositions. You have said over and over throughout the years and in this crisis that you'd trust my judgment. Please trust me now. This letter is the culmination of a 21-day fast and a resolve to live in light and truth instead of shadows and lies. I step into the arena not with a smoking gun of bravado, hoping to take down the great man of God and his legacy, but with a bleeding heart as one masterfully duped, and an appeal to my mentor, friend, and abuser. Please own these chapters in vulnerability, humility, and repentance. Please free the others from their life sentence of shadows and lies. Please allow us to faithfully wound as former friends instead of scripting our cover-up as pawns to be manipulated. Please let us exhale together in my closure. My name is not Jane Doe. It was Tammy Woods. When it all began, this is not meant for lawcraft fodder or social media fuel. It's a wounded heart offered in honest confession to my spiritual leaders and family and extended across the Miles decade. Plot twists in context and earnest appeal to you. The son of a boxer, this is a technical knockout. Please throw in the towel. Please do what is true and honorable before the Lord. With hope, Tammy Woods. Mike, did you hear that? Did you hear that? Someone literally gave you a second chance to do better, and you blew it. You know, I mean, as much as I disagree with everything you did, and especially how old she was at the time, people make bad choices in life, and if it was one of those things, it's like, hey, but I knew he made a mistake, and so I forgave him. If the story ended there, I think people have been like, Mike Bickle is human too. We're all sinners in the eyes of God. That bullshit. People would have just said that about you. But like the fact that you've known this is not something good to do. This was your maneuver. We've gone over countless times how your little prophecy game, your ability to convince people that you receive prophecies from God. When I heard that, and especially when you're starting to, like, God told me you're going to be my new wife, so strap in, like... You're married, you knew this was wrong, and that's the scary thing about it. Just people who know they're doing wrong but do it anyway because they like it. That's the scary fucking shit about you, Mike Bickle, because this video is specifically for you, and what you need to do. You don't act like you're sorry for that. That's the real problem, is like you don't act sorry. Like, and I'm a big believer in, it's like, I do definitely believe in second chances, and you should apologize to people unless they're deciding I'm going to continue to do this for the rest of my life. And at some point you got to be like, look, I can't do this anymore. And, I definitely believe, like, people can change and people can do better, dumb choices you made in the past shouldn't define you and stuff like that. But, you can't forgive someone unless they apologize first. And I think that's something, people I know dearly, need to understand. And, I think that's the world, because, in the Christian world, it's all about forgiveness. But at the same time, like, you can't forgive someone if they're not sorry for what they did and they're not apologizing for what they did. That's my mind when it comes to that, Mike. You have to mean it. You have to mean what you say. Your actions need to support your words, because your actions did not support your words with Tammy Woods. Okay? You said it was a mistake, and you she even willing to forgive you? And then, you know, she thought it was just a one-time thing, and she thought, you know, it's like, hey, people make mistakes and stuff like that. But then you just continue to do it. So it doesn't show that you're apologizing for anything. So, you know, I don't think forgiveness can be given unless there's an apology at the beginning. So you have to really prove that you're sorry about this. Don't listen to what your lawyers say. You know, you need to, you know, your public speaking, because you do have good public speaking skills. Like, obviously, I don't think you would have had so many followers if, you know, you didn't have good public speaking skills. Like, you should be able to make an apology, a heartfelt apology on your own, not a lawyer written apology, but like an apology on your own, you know, and do it. And then show how you want to do better, you know, show how I don't know what that means. You know what actions you need to take to make things better and where you need to go from here. The question is, are you going to do it? And my guess is no, because sounds like you're a little bit of a sociopath. And so, as we like to say in the world,
Be gone, fuck!
I don't know. I think that's the best one we got. All right, it's time for another segment of
Cool stuff, slick stuff, neat stuff.
where we look about what Garth Brooks has been up to. Now, Garth, this show has really struggled a lot since I'm pretty sure Garth got a new social media / PR team to make it not look like he's a murderer, which I feel like at this point he's only making it worse. But anyways, this is from Whiskey Riff. I swear I met the guy who runs this once. And I don't remember, so I feel bad. No, Garth Brooks was not kicked out of a Toby Keith tribute for being too woke. I think it was Abraham Lincoln who once said not to believe everything you read on the internet. Obviously, it's easy to say whatever you want online these days, and it's easy to have false claims go viral before anybody even takes the time to fact check them. Of course, fact checkers are kind of bullshit sometimes too, but that's a different story for a different day. But anyways, we've seen several fake stories about Garth Brooks going around in the past, like the claim that he started crying after being booed off stage during a show in his home state of Oklahoma, or fake quote from Hank Williams Jr. that he wouldn't be caught dead on stage with Garth. Even Texas Governor Greg Abbott recently fell for one of these fake news stories, sharing an article from the satirical Dunning-Kruger Times that claimed Garth was booed off stage in less than 2 minutes in the 123rd Annual Texas Country Jamboree in Hambriston, Texas, insinuating that his recent Bud Light comments were the cause. Obviously, this was not true. The Texas Country Jamboree is not a festival and definitely hasn't been around for 120 years. Hambriston is not a town in Texas, and the rabid fan base of G certainly did not suddenly turn their backs on the man they've idolized for decades. Governor Greg Abbott still shared the story, though, commenting in a since-deleted post, "Go woke, go broke. Garth called his conservative fans assholes. Good job, Texas." So yeah, it's easy for these fake stories to take root and spread like wildfire before the truth can be revealed. Well, another one of those posts from a satirical website has been making the rounds, claiming that Garth was removed from a Toby Keith tribute because he was too woke. Of course, Toby Keith recently passed away on February 5th, and the article claims that Toby wouldn't have wanted a woke person at his tribute show. The only problem is, it's all crap. The article originated from websites called SpaceXmania.com, which identifies itself as satire right on its site. Welcome to SpaceXmania, your go-to source for the latest space news and hilarious satirical commentary. And this disclaimer on their site reads, "These articles are meant to be humorous and are often entirely made up. We make no claims that the information presented in these articles is true or accurate. Reading should exercise caution and use their own judgment when reading and interpreting our satirical articles. We take no responsibility for any actions taken based on the content of these articles. We understand that some readers may be unfamiliar with satire and may not understand that these articles are not meant to be taken at face value. It is the responsibility of the reader to discern the intent of these articles and to understand that they are not presented as factual information." So, we all know the people who are falling for this, dude. You know, like Southern Republican lawmakers, like not intelligent people, like the intelligent people aren't reposting this shit. And yeah, it is kind of weird. The only people who really don't like, does anyone actually give a shit about the Bud Light shit anymore? Like, Kid Rock's back. He's drinking Bud Light again. Like, I have to imagine, Like maybe some bars lost a deal and they just don't have Bud Light, but they probably still have other Budweiser shit, you know, just available for everyone to go for. But no, I think yeah, but I think he wasn't invited to Toby Keith's tribute show because we're celebrating the death of one person. You know, we don't need to have other people dying at a celebration of life. You know, at celebrations of lives, make sure that we do not murder people. You know, this is a message to Garth. You know. And actually, I would love to see Garth play some Toby Keith songs. Actually, he's a great performer, by the way. What if he moves his Vegas residency to the Dome, and he's just in there murdering people? It's like just a horror show in there. That'd be some real Garth shit right there. But I don't know. He's a crazy motherfucker. You never know what he's gonna do. And anything anyone's ever said about Garth Brooks is true. I can't imagine anyone has ever lied about him or made up stuff or even pulled jokes on him. I don't think anyone's done that. So, yeah, you never know.
I like that.
Or you never know. All right, last article we got here is from OK Magazine. Absolutely unhinged, Northwest shocks fans by praising Kanye's controversial music and drawing a picture of Bianca Censori's behind. Followers of Kim Kardashian and Northwest joint TikTok account were taken aback by one of their latest uploads. The post in question contained multiple photos, with the last slide depicting a written prompt by the 10-year-old Tot, who was asked by a teacher to write 3 things she was grateful for. I am grateful for the Vultures 1 album because it is insanely good, North wrote about her dad, Kanye West's new released disc. I am also grateful for Black Vulture because if Vultures weren't alive, this amazing album wouldn't have come out. Lastly, I am grateful for the song Carnival, she added, referencing another one of the rapper's tunes. North's words surprised some given that in one of his tracks he raps about being bipolar and anti-Semitic. Equally concerning about was that North drew a rendition of Kanye's album artwork which features his wife Bianca Censori in nothing but knee-high socks and a piece of fabric covering her behind. Though the photo has since been deleted from TikTok, plenty of social media users saw it, sparking disbelief and discussion. North's drawing her stepmom ass is weird to me, y'all. I don't know. One person wrote on Reddit, while another confessed, I can't defend this. This is absolutely unhinged. Even Eminem didn't let his daughters listen to his music. Another individual pointed out, art or not, her dad's music is inappropriate for children, and yes, that includes his own 10-year-old child. It's especially disturbing that she cites Carnival. I just read the lyrics as a grown adult, and I feel gross. One person noted the raunchy verses, while another said, honestly, it's wild that she's been exposed to. As OK reported, Kanye's spouse, whom he married in December 2022, is known for wearing next to no clothing, with an insider claiming that her loved ones worried she's being controlled by the Grammy winner. So I try to stay away from a lot of Kanye news because he has kids and they're involved and it's sad. But now we're talking about one of his kids. And I got to say, guys, I don't know, because kids want to be on social media so bad. And then as an adult, you're like, I know it's on social media. I got to make sure you don't fucking see people getting hit by trains and shit. Like, I've watched a guy, he's fixing something in a machine in a factory, and then he's sucked into the machine and he no longer exists. Like, there's no trace of him at all. He does not exist anymore. And I mean, that's pretty crazy, but yeah, no, I don't think North should be on social media, and because she posts, I can't imagine that comment section on that has to be brutal. But yeah, I don't know. It is. I think it's weird that North is really into her dad's music because, I have little cousins that are 4 and 7, almost 5 and 7, and I got to be honest with you, they don't think anything I do is cool. Only the things they think I do is cool is video games. That's what they think is cool I do, and then I buy them cool shit, And so yeah, it's weird, usually kids don't care how famous you are. They just they're just that's my dad, he's lame. That's what most kids are like. So I think it's interesting. I think she might probably like it because I think she's actually on the album, so maybe that's a little bit why she likes it and doesn't really No. Someone who's around sixth graders a lot. I got to tell you though, like, you'd be surprised. You think like kids are not sheltered anymore, and like the internet has ruined all of our minds. But like, you meet some kids and like they'll accidentally say things that don't know. I heard a friend who's a teacher, and he was telling me about how his like fourth graders were saying bussy instead of busy, and like he like you can kind of tell when a kid doesn't know what they're saying. It's just like it's so funny, and I can't laugh. And it's like they don't know what they're saying because it's a pussy, and even then, it's like we're a little skeptical about it. It's like it's a boy pussy. I'm like, okay, how does that work? But it is what it is, and life's a dirty game. You gotta to win it. FNX Fitness, the ultimate destination for fitness enthusiasts looking to reach their peak performance and achieve their health goals. Are you tired of the same old fitness routines that leave you feeling uninspired and unmotivated? Look no further than FNX Fitness, where they bring a fresh and innovative approach to your fitness journey. At FNX Fitness, they believe that true fitness goes beyond just physical strength. It's about nourishing your body and mind and soul to unlock your full potential. That's why they offer a wide range of high-quality supplements and products designed to support your active lifestyle. Fuel your workouts and enhance your recovery with these scientifically formulated supplements. From pre-workout energizers to post-workout recovery blends, FNX Fitness has you covered every step of the way. Their products are carefully crafted using premium ingredients, ensuring you get the nutrients you need to perform at your best. But FNX Fitness is more than just supplements. It's a community of like-minded individuals who share your passion for fitness and well-being. Join their supportive community and gain access to expert advice, workout tips, and motivational content that will keep you inspired and on track towards your goals. They understand that fitness is a personal journey, which is why they offer a wide range of products to cater to your individual needs. Whether you're a seasoned athlete looking to take your performance to the next level, or a beginner taking your first steps towards a healthier lifestyle, FNX Fitness has the tools and resources to support you every step of the way. But don't just take my word for it. Join the thousands of satisfied customers who have already experienced the FNX Fitness difference. Transform your fitness routine and unlock your full potential with FNX Fitness. And using our code in the description, you can save 15% off your order from their website. Ready to take your fitness to the next level? Visit their website on your nearest retailer today and discover the power of FNX Fitness. Elevate your performance, fuel your passion, and become the best version of yourself with FNX Fitness. And a reminder, when you use our links, you directly support this show. Cash App, the easiest way to send, spend, and save money with just a few taps on your phone. Are you tired of dealing with the hassle of carrying cash or waiting in long lines at the bank? With Cash App, you can say goodbye to those inconveniences and hello to a seamless financial experience. Sending money to friends and family has never been easier, whether you're splitting the bill at dinner, paying your share of rent, or simply sending a birthday gift. Cash App lets you transfer money instantly, directly from your bank account. No need to worry about writing checks or handling physical cash anymore. But Cash App doesn't stop there. It's complete financial ecosystem right at your fingertips. Use the app to easily pay for your morning coffee, groceries, or even your monthly subscriptions. With just a simple scan or tap, you can make purchases at millions of locations, both online and offline. And here's the best part. Cash App helps you save money too. With its innovative Boost feature, you can unlock exclusive discounts and cashback rewards at popular retailers, restaurants, and even your favorite services. It's like having your own personal saving assistant, always looking out for the best deals. Worried about security? Cash App has you covered. With top-notch encryption and advanced security features, your financial information is always protected. Plus, if you have ever had any question or concerns, Cash App's dedicated customer support team is available 24/7 to assist you. So why wait? Join millions of satisfied users and experience the convenience, speed, and savings that Cash App brings to your financial life. Download the app today from your app store and start spending and saving money like never before. Luckily, the best part is, if you sign up using the link in the description, you get a free $5 just for signing up. That's literally just free money. So join Cash App today. The future of money is here. And when you use our links, you directly support this show.
Move, bitch, get out of my fucking way. It's Black History Month.
So announcement time. I have decided to become a lawyer. And what better way to study becoming a lawyer. Don't go to college, folks. Don't go to college to become a lawyer. If anything I've learned from this show is telling you don't go to college. It's apparently a waste of time. I want to talk about Suits. You know how like no one watched this show when it was on except for like Prince Harry, and then now it's on Netflix and like everyone's been watching it. Yeah, apparently that was something of a strategy by what I've recently learned. It was like a strategy by at least the producers of the show or whoever's I don't know who's gonna be in charge of that shit. That like they put it back on there that way it like people actually watch it, you know, and then that way when they're doing a spinoff, it's basically the same show. It's called Suits LA, and I think Stephen Amell just got cast for it. I saw, but anyways, I want to talk about Suits, the legal drama following everyone's favorite Harvey Specter, Mike Ross, you know. Basically the show starts off, it's like Mike Ross, maybe I should just start jumping into the show. But yeah, basically what happens is Mike Ross is it's hard to determine who the main character of the show is. Is it Mike or is it Harvey? Because by the end of the show, it's basically Harvey, but at the beginning of the show, it's Mike. But I guess in my mind, I consider Mike and Harvey like the two leads. There's two leads, you know? You know, like the Marvels had 3 leads. This is Suits, it has 2 leads. And even then, like you get a glimpse into everyone, the recurring cast, like you get into it. So Mike Ross, he's like a genius and he has photographic memory. And I guess the way he described it on the show was basically he can read something and once he understands it, it's in his mind forever and stuff like that. So, by the way, having photographic memory, whatever field of work you want to go into, is very useful. So if you have that, you are set for life. All you have to do is try. That's all you have to do at this point. I don't know if you could learn, like, remember sheet music, but I guess you'd be a little different. You got to have your hands to it. You know, it takes a little muscle memory if you ever did that. But I don't know. But he got expelled from his college, which I don't think it was Harvard at the time. Maybe it was, I don't know. But basically, he got expelled from school because he got like a study or the answer sheet or something like that and was giving it away or something similar to that. And so basically he got expelled. He can't really get back into college and he can't go to law school, and all his dreams went out the door. So, you know, he's always had to make money the other way, like delivery and shit like that. And he also has to support his grandma because his parents had to have died. You know how parents do, and they just go off and die. You know, Dad, you know how you went off and died. So basically, how the show starts off with is, so like Mike's a genius, but he's like not working anywhere close to like his skill level. So his friend is, and soon to be former best friend, Trevor. He's a drug dealer, and like he actually has another job too, or something like that. That's a cover up. He basically he needs Mike to like deliver like a briefcase full of weed. This is back when like you couldn't, like weed was bad. You know, now it's good, so it's okay. But yeah, so he basically is trying to drop off like a run or whatever to someone. And luckily, since Mike is smart, he figures out that this is like a sting operation and he's going to get caught. So he doesn't get caught. He basically in that process, instead of that, in the process of not getting caught, he stumbles into like a job interview to be a lawyer for Harvey Specter, who I do got to say he is probably like the best lawyer in New York City. And yeah, and so basically, like if the briefcase of the weed all falls out and shit like that, like during the interview, like classic show. And basically Harvey's like, huh, you know a lot about the law. You want to be hired? He's like, I'm not a real lawyer. He's like, yeah, that won't be a problem. It becomes a problem. It definitely becomes a problem. So like Harvey's known as the best closer in the city. Where basically in corporate law, I guess it means like closing a deal, you know, and stuff like that, or getting the job done. You know, it's like you send Harvey in when you're done. So that's basically it. But of course, this law firm Pearson Hardman at the time, they change names every fucking season in the show. They basically only hire Harvard graduates, so that's also a struggle because everyone who's goes to Harvard Law School knows everyone in the class apparently, and they're like, "You're not in this class." So that's good. Then we meet like his Harvey's secretary Donna, who every guy wants to fuck his secretary. So hire someone you want to fuck, guys. That's how you hire a secretary. And then she finds out like immediately. Then Mike meets Rachel Zane, played by what's her face. Meghan Markle, and she's the worst character on the show. Like if you're trying to talk to someone to watch the show, I was like, oh, this was the show Meghan Markle was on before she became the Duchess and shit like that. And I got to tell you, she is the worst character on the show. Like I'm like, she's not a bad actor or anything, so it's not like her. It's probably just the part she has to play, being who she is, and it's just she's annoying, but she's hot, and I understand what Prince Harry saw in her. I see it. It was her looks. I can't imagine. Yeah, but anyways, though, Mike's and Rachel's a paralegal, and she can't be a lawyer because she's bad at taking tests, and that's a whole fucking plot. She eventually becomes a lawyer. That's what happens. And then all of the first season, they're trying to it's a big hiding thing. They're trying to hide from everyone, but at the end of the season, Jessica Pearson, managing partner of this firm, she finds out pretty much by the end of the season. And then by now we're on season 2, she basically figures out Mike's faking it because she's a very intelligent woman too. And the co-founding partner of this firm, which wasn't always that, but the guy she went to take over the firm and get her name on the wall, they're lawyers. The lawyers on the show, they have a big importance about getting their name on a wall, having their own, being a managed or a named partner at a firm. It's a big deal. You go from associate to junior partner to senior partner to name partner, and being the name partner means everything. But unless you're managing partner, then none of that. I really don't think any of that really matters too much. Just mind of the fact, bragging rights or whatever. And Daniel Hardman is a little rascal. I'd like to call Daniel Hardman a rascal. He's always trying to bring shit up, and he's just an agent of chaos, and he is a little rascal. Not as bad as Hitler's little rascals, but yeah, he's a little rascal. He's always trying to find shit. Basically Hardman set it up because he's trying to get rid of Harvey and Jessica because they made him leave the firm initially because he cheated on his wife, and also was probably laundering money to help his wife and shit like that. So they're like, you did it for a noble reason, so we'll let you off, and then sign shit and stuff like that. But once they basically what he tries to do is hide a document, and then Donna sees it and then destroys it, which it's burying evidence, and you don't do that in law. I've learned all my legal stuff was from the one music business class I took and this show. That's all. And She-Hulk and a little bit of Daredevil. Liar, liar. That's how I've learned the law, folks. And I pretty much have it down at this point. Are we gonna have a lawyer off or whatever? I would not do good in court. I would do great if I was being interrogated. I'm I'd do great there because I know my rights, and so I'd be get me a lawyer. And all these people are try to avoid doing that, which is against the law, by the way. But they're the ones enforcing the law, so they get away with that shit. So yeah, after that, they get out of it. They figured out by the end of this season that they can join forces with this British dude named Edward Darby, who is British, by the way. So if you have an affinity to not like their voices, I understand, because I just wish they would not do it around me. That's all I ask. If you're British, just don't do it around me. Okay, that's all I ask. And basically, they get him out a third time. This one sticks, but not without he's a reoccurring menace. That Daniel Hardman is. They basically merge with Edward Darby, and Mike tells Rachel that he's not real, and that's when they can start being together because like it's kind of like you can't. That's like a secret, and you can't really keep secrets in relationships, and it, unless you told her that, yeah, it makes sense, and then. So yeah, that's basically season 2. Rachel and Mike get together. Darby joins in, and that means you get to season 3, and you have that little. Darby he's not necessarily a villain, but he's kind of like Jessica and Harvey in a sense, where it's a little too many cooks in the kitchen. That's kind of how it is, and so Harvey uses that as leverage to become name partner, and I think he eventually does. And Lewis becomes senior partner, which they waited too long to make Lewis senior partner. Like he's senior partner. Yeah, they took a little way too long, but he's there. Lewis is there, even though he did take Hardman's side for a little bit. He eventually did the right thing, and so we got to keep Lewis around. And then what was it? And then so yeah, Darby. They have a client called Ava Hessington, which I think Darby wants to fuck her. No, I think Darby's gay, so. I don't know, they're friends or whatever, and it's just like, they know she's like, oh yeah, didn't she like give a heads up and like a bunch of people died or some shit like that? Like it was like pretty dark, like she put a hit on someone, and eventually, in regards to Law Mumbo Jumbo, after that, they basically are able to put the blame on Edward Darby, and then. That makes it so he can't practice law in the United States because it was a big enough. They're from London, but it was like a big enough firm they can do in the practice law in the United States. Which I don't know those rules because like you have to be like, don't you have to like be able to practice law in like every individual state versus like because every individual state has different laws. So I don't even know how that happens with like fucking foreign. Like how do they know fucking American laws? That do they even have laws in England? I don't know. Those guys, everyone's smoking cigarettes over there, so I can't imagine anything. But yeah, at this point, Mark realizes he needs to break good, and he decides to become an investment banker because being an investment banker apparently doesn't require anything to be an investment banker. You just got to be. He's just smart enough, and the guy he was put himself into. Was like that's fine, but didn't find out he was a fake lawyer. But he's like, yeah, you can be an investment banker. Anyone can. I don't care. So yeah, basically season 4 starts off, and this is Mike, and Harvey's breakup. There's a lot of breakups in the show, and they're not relationships; they're friendships. So we have to get that. So basically, there's like a takeover battle with the investment bankers and some shit like that and stuff like the SEC. Eventually Sean Cahill eventually comes in. Sean Cahill starts off as a villain and then becomes a friend when they Mike gets fired from that job, and then like eventually what happens in this season? Okay, all right, let me read my notes. When Mike is fired, Lewis goes to extreme lengths to persuade Mike to return to Pearson Spector. Okay, so he returns, basically comes back and back to his little fraud life. And stuff like that. And, and to, like, get this deal, they had to go to Forsman and Forsman wanted them to, like, move money, like, illegally and shit like that so he could avoid paying taxes on it. No billionaire's ever done that before, and then, Lewis gets Jessica to rehire Mike, even though he's a fraud. And then Lewis finally figures out, like, that Mike never went to Harvard, considering he's banging the lady who was, like, in charge of having everyone's records. Like, it took him a little bit to figure it out, but they did a good job hiding it because, like, Harvey was in on it, Jessica was in on it, Mike was in on it. Even Rachel and Donna, to some extent, were in on it, too. Lewis uses that leverage to become name partner. And I think he should have become name partner longer before that when Harvey did, but they were like, we can't do it at the same time or else it doesn't matter. I'm like, shut up. Shut up. But then, like, Mike and Lewis have to work it out. Why'd you lie to me? It's like, it wasn't personal. And, like, at the time, it's like, you know, if like someone had that secret, you know, it's like, why didn't you tell me? It's like, it wasn't personal. Like, don't take it personally. It wasn't because of that. Like, you know, we're not telling anyone, and people are just, you found out, you know, on your own. So, you know, like, Lewis, don't take it personally. I mean, that was my thing. I was just like, Lewis, don't take this shit personally. It wasn't because of you. And then eventually, after everything, Donna realized, I'm like, it's kind of, I shouldn't work for Harvey. So she starts working for Lewis. And, you know, and then that's the next breakup. And then Harvey and Donna broke. Nothing's a stronger relationship than a secretary and their the secretary and their lawyer boss, you know. So like Harvey's basically like going through a breakup with Donna. He starts going to a therapist and shit like that, you know, like we all do. And then we meet Jack Soloff, who looks like Mads Mikkelsen. With a beard, you know, but it's not Mads Mikkelsen. He seems like a cool guy, though, in real life, not on the show. And we turned out that Jack Soloff is being manipulated by Daniel Hardman. That little rascal is back, everyone. He is back. And he's doing that. Rachel's, you know, planning her wedding and shit like that. But eventually, Mike and Harvey both resign because they're like, I don't think we should be doing this. We need to resign because I think there was a weird deal with Forsman. Mike's like, I need to stay straight, you know. And the moment he quits, he gets arrested for not being a real lawyer. And then you get to this part with Anita Gibbs, who is a witch, but does eventually come around. But she is a witch. So eventually they're going to court, and basically for Mike being a fake lawyer, and he basically won. They figured out like he won. They went to one of the jurors and like they figured out that they were going to put him innocent or not guilty, and instead he signs a deal. He doesn't believe in Harvey or himself, and so he ends up going to jail. And so that's how the season ends. He goes to jail. Now on to season 6. So Mike's supposed to be in prison for 2 years, but there's an inmate named Frank Gallo who just wants to murder him because Harvey put him in jail for racketeering when he was really trying to murder someone. So he deserves to be in jail. Like he deserves. And it's Pearson Spector lit now. Like everyone quit because of Mike's being a fraud or whatever. And so they basically have to put like pro bonos and like hire lawyers outside of Harvard. Oh, God forbid. They have to go to Columbia University. They have to go to other Ivy League schools to get lawyers. They can't just stick with Harvard. But then they're basically end up working out a deal to get Mike out of prison because like they're not going to have just Mike be in prison for the whole show. And then so Mike's basically he has to rat on his roommate Frank, or not Frank Gallo, whoever his fucking cellmate is. Do I have it in my notes? Nope. And basically it was because like his roommate's father-in-law did some shady shit, and he went to prison to make sure his wife doesn't go to prison. And eventually, they were able to figure out a deal where they got Mike out of prison and that guy out of prison, and then Frank tried to kill Mike, and so therefore they caught it on camera too. And then Frank is going somewhere way worse. And basically Mike comes back, but he has to, you know, everyone knows he's a fake lawyer, so he gets like a job at a law clinic or whatever, which is basically like they only take $50,000 per case, so like whatever it is, and then after that it's or whatever. And so Mike does like a manager job, but like the lawyers are in there. So eventually they figure out how to get Mike back into the system and like back in the bar, you know, or whatever. And eventually Mike is able to become a lawyer again because Anita Gibbs has a change of heart, and she approves Mike being back on the bar. So Mike is now a real lawyer now. So now he has to go back to like Pearson Spector lit at this point. And basically he's like, I want to do pro bonos to help people, not corporate law. And then so we get into season 7. And the whole plot revolves around Mike wanting to help people instead of doing corporate law. And him and Harvey fight, but, you know, they work it out. Donna becomes COO. She just talks her way into it. That's how you get jobs, folks. You just talk your way into it. That's how it works. And then they revealed Lewis has been going to a therapist forever. And finally therapy starts working like it's season 7. He's been doing it since before the show started, and now season 7, he's like join it. They had Dule Hill, Alex. He joins the team. And Rachel finally passed her the bar, so now she can be a lawyer too. So her and Mike are both lawyers doing their shit. They figure out that there is this like prison thing because it was like a corporately owned prison, like by a construction company, and they're using the free labor from prisoners, and so they're both keeping prisoners in longer than they need to be, or stuff like that. So very shady shit that's always happening all the time. And Mike figures out that they're killing and abusing prisoners, and they're like, that's not cool. And they figure it out, but they have leverage over Alex, and so they figured out how to get out of that. And yeah, by the end of this season, a lot of cool things happen. Mike and Rachel get offered a job in Seattle working like class action lawsuits, like that actually help people and shit like that. So they moved to Seattle, and that's how they wrote out Meghan Markle, because she decided she wanted to be a princess instead of finishing out the goddamn show. And so that's cool. But then Robert Zane learns that's Rachel's dad, who is a recurring character throughout the entire show. He learns that his partners, Ellen Rand and Eric Caldor, are trying to do something shady, like take over Spectre. At this point, Spectre lit now because Jessica left, and so because Jessica took the fall for knowing Mike was a fake lawyer, and so she got disbarred, and she was like, "I'm okay, I'm rich, I'm moving to Chicago, get my own little spinoff." And Robert Zane becomes a named partner at Spectre Lit, and soon it becomes Zane Spectre Lit. So now we're at Zane Spectre Lit. And so we're moving into season 8. Mike and Rachel are now not on the show anymore. And so I thought this was where the show got bad, but I thought it was still fine because they added Katherine Heigl to the show, Samantha Wheeler. And so basically this show starts off with Robert Zane and Harvey promising both Alex and Samantha both. You were like, the next person to be named partner is going to be you. They both agree to that. And eventually there have to be like, all right, you're both named partners, so you guys don't have to fucking compete against each other anymore. Now Lewis is managing partner. And so all is good. Katrina, one of my favorite hotties on the show, she made senior partner, which should have been happening a long time ago. And by the end of this season, Donna and Harvey finally admit their feelings for each other. But what happened was Harvey and Alex are both doing cases against each other, which I don't know if law firms should be doing that, but I guess it's whatever. And they actually figured out that Harvey gave Alex information and through Donna's boyfriend at the time. It's like a whole wheel of things, and basically Robert Zane decides to sacrifice his legal career and be disbarred for the firm and stuff like that. Which now we're going to season 9, which, you've had, by this point, this law firm, Mike Ross was disbarred and then rebarred, obviously. And then Jessica Pearson was disbarred, and then Robert Zane was disbarred. So they bring in Faye Richardson, who is a bitch and has no redeeming qualities. Zero redeeming qualities. Like, she's like, I do things by the rules, and you guys always cross the line. And there's like, we cross the line for the better good of the world, and shit like that. So she like takes away Lewis's managing partner and decides to do it here. She wants to she wants to destroy the firm. She wants to get Harvey disbarred. Like, every lawyer wants to get Harvey disbarred because he's too good. Because basically the reason why you would go after like a lawyer getting disbarred is because you suck against them, and that's why you do it. So, if you didn't suck, maybe you wouldn't have to do this shit. So she's kind of a bitch throughout the whole firm. They find the skeletons in her closet because she's not a good person either. Like, all these people are not good people, it's just kind of how goofy they do. And then, eventually they pull like a scheme to get her to sign a document saying because like she was being sued by Samantha after like she fired Samantha for wrongful termination. And they're like, Harvey and Lewis, you have to be my lawyers and I'll leave. And then they do it. And then they're like, why don't we just team up and just get rid of her, And then they do that, and then they're like, and then eventually she leaves because Harvey says he's gonna quit too soon, and then Lewis and Sheila get married, and Sheila gives birth to the wedding on the wedding day. Harvey marries Donna because Lewis left. I don't know, because he has to one up Lewis. I was like, Lewis is not gonna be happy about this, and they both decide to move to Seattle, be with Mike and Rachel. That way they can do good in the world. Because Harvey realizes, like, I like crossing lines and I like doing what I do, but I want to do it for good. And so Harvey realizes that he needs to do good. So he goes out there to Seattle, leaving the firm name as Lit Wheeler Williams Bennett. Now, that is a lot of names. So let's think. Pearson Hardman, that was even the original name. Pearson Hardman. Then it's Darby Spector, Darby Pearson Lit. No, Darby Pearson Spector, then Pearson Spector, then Pearson Spector Lit, then Spector Lit, then Zane Spector Lit, then Zane Spector Lit, Wheeler Williams, and then finally, and then eventually Spector Lit Wheeler Williams, and then eventually ending on Lit Wheeler Williams and Bennett. Katrina made it, and that's how the show ends. Happy ending for everyone except for Faye Richardson. She sucks. But yeah, that was Suits, and that's the entire show. Suits, summarized by the worst person you know. It was like,
How do I breathe?
That's a good question after reading that. But no, I genuinely think this is a good show. It gets a little, if you understand that it's going to be a little cheesy, because there's a lot of episodes start with like, but Harvey, you're the best lawyer in the city. Only you would be able to handle this. And then Harvey's like, I'm in, see the money, wanna stay for the year. And then that's opening credits and shit like that. But no, if you haven't watched Suits yet, I would definitely say go watch that, because I think it's a very, very phenomenal show. Very well done. Like, if it wasn't for Netflix, this show, I don't think anyone would know this show ever really existed, minus the fact that Meghan Markle was on the show, because I think it started in like 2011 or something like that. So that's when everyone stopped watching cable and started just streaming shit, So if you're looking for my recommendation to watch Suits, watch it. If you're looking for legal advice, please don't come to me, because I was told that being a lawyer is probably a little bit different from a television show. So yeah. Drizly, the ultimate convenience for all your alcohol needs, delivered right to your doorstep. Tired of making last-minute trips to the liquor store or dealing with crowded aisles and long checkout lines? With Drizly, your favorite drinks are just a few taps away, making your alcohol shopping experience easier and more enjoyable than ever before. Drizly brings the liquor store to you, offering an extensive selection of beer, wine, spirits, and more. Browse their vast catalog of top-quality brands, local favorites, and specialty beverages, all conveniently organized on their user-friendly app or website. With Drizly, there's no need to leave the comfort of your home. Simply choose your favorite drinks, place your order, and let their reliable delivery partners handle the rest. Whether you're hosting a party, relaxing after a long day, or simply stocking up for the weekend, Drizly ensures that your drinks are delivered promptly and securely. But Drizly isn't just about convenience, it's about choice. Discover new flavors, explore unique craft brews, or find the perfect bottle of wine to complement your meal. With Drizly's vast selection, you have the freedom to choose exactly what you want when you want it. Worried about the hassle of age verification? Drizly has you covered. Their delivery partners are trained to ensure responsible alcohol delivery, making sure that only those of legal drinking age receive their orders. Your safety and the safety of your community is their top priority. Join the millions of satisfied customers who have already embraced the convenience and simplicity of Drizly. Say goodbye to the hassle of traditional alcohol shopping and hello to the ease of having your favorite drinks delivered to your doorstep. That's not all. Using our link in the description gives you $5 off your first order, which can greatly enhance your night, if you know what I'm saying. Ready to elevate your drinking experience? Download the Drizly app or visit our website today and experience the future of alcohol shopping. Cheers to a new way of enjoying your favorite drinks with Drizly. And remember, when you use our links, you directly support this show. Honey, your ultimate online shopping companion that saves you time and money effortlessly. Are you tired of endlessly searching for coupon codes or missing out on the best deals when shopping online? Say goodbye to those frustrations and hello to Honey, the free browser extension that revolutionizes your online shopping experience. Honey is your personal shopping assistant that automatically finds and applies the best coupon codes at checkout, helping you save money with just a few clicks. No more wasted time scouring the internet for discounts. Honey does the work for you, ensuring you never miss out on a great deal again. But Honey doesn't stop at coupon codes. it goes the extra mile to ensure you get the best price possible. With Honey's innovative price history feature, you can track the price changes of your favorite products over time. This means you'll always know if you're getting the best deal or if it's better to wait for a price drop. And the best part, Honey works seamlessly with over 30,000 online retailers, including popular brands across fashion, tech, home goods, and more. Whether you're shopping for a new wardrobe, upgrading your electronics, or sprucing up your living space, Honey has your back, ensuring you get the best value for your money. Worried about privacy and security? Rest assured, Honey is committed to protecting your personal information. They never sell or share your data, and their browser extension is designed with top-notch security measures to keep your online shopping experience safe and secure. Join the millions of satisfied users like me who have already saved millions of dollars with Honey. Download the Honey browser extension today and unlock a world of savings every time you shop online. Don't miss out on an incredible deal and the chance to save money effortlessly. Experience the power of Honey and take your online shopping to a whole new level. Honey, the sweetest way to shop online. And remember, when you use our links, you directly support this show.
Oh no! Our table!
It is time for Oh No, Our Table, the part of the podcast. I just answer questions. I just answer questions. So if you have a question for me, please let me know.
Let's just jump into it.
If you had 10 out of 10 looks, would you be more promiscuous? If people were always throwing themselves at you due to the way you looked, do you think you generally have a harder time staying faithful, loyal, and monogamous in life? Yeah, okay. So, would I be more promiscuous? Probably. I'd make more thirst traps on Instagram. I mean, at the end of the day, people want to look at good-looking people, and Instagram is an app of photos and videos now. So I'd probably be making a lot of thirst traps. So yeah, I would be doing that. I think I'm finally down to a weight where it's like if I take my shirt off, it's funny and not sad anymore. Which
You bet I'm coming up in May.
hide your moms. So in regards to like, would I be more promiscuous in regards to that? Yeah, I'd definitely be a little more, at least in regards to like Instagram, worst comes to worst, OnlyFans would work out for me. But in regards to relationships, I don't think that would, I don't think much would change, if you really love someone, you know that like, hey, if I cheat on them, I'm hurting someone I love, and I don't want to do that. So that's how normal people think. So I don't think like monogamy would be hard. I mean, what would be more difficult in life is as a musician, when you play music, sometimes women throw themselves at you. Not women I would consider ladies, but I would consider them. Yeah, I wouldn't consider them ladies. These are the kinds of chicks that like to go airtight, as in all holes plugged. If you know what I'm saying. But yeah, so like and so it's more or less like worried about someone getting handsy with you. I think that's something hard. And then sometimes the rare unicorn comes along, aka a lady comes along. She's a lady, and ladies shouldn't be messed with. I always thought that was she was a lady in waiting and shouldn't be messed with. That's what I always thought the words were, and then I learned it's not that. Forever the sickest kids, you need to fucking figure your shit out. Because it's not my problem, it's your problem. I'm not going to blame myself for this. Yeah, so I think that would be hard. I mean, like, sometimes you get a check, like, do you want to fuck right now? You want me to suck your dick right now? And I'd have to be like, no, unless I want to follow the line. Dick suck ain't cheating, which still debatable. Still debatable, unless we're going with that rule. The dick suck ain't cheating. I wish I could do that in like class with kids. You'd be like, all right, poll time, and we all need a vote. Is a dick suck cheat? Imagine like a bunch of 11-year-olds. That'd be horrible. That's the nice thing about working, like, around kids is it's surprisingly less sexual, and it's nice. Like, all my musician friends are like, come, 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 and then the kids are not all about that. And it's nice. It's nice when children act like children. It's really nice. It's a nice like you can watch like you know, you can watch like stuff that like, you know, you can watch like PG-13 stuff, but then it's also not like, let's talk about cum for 20 minutes, you know? That's what this podcast is about. We talk about cum here. But yeah, no, I'd be more promiscuous, but I would stay the same level of monogamous, you know? I would just wait around, you know? But like when you're single, being a 10 out of 10 is pretty fucking rad, you know? It's just like, everyone wants to suck my dick, you know? That sounds like the best life, you know?
Feel like a woman, a real woman.
He's everything I want personality-wise, but he's obese.
Come on, Mark. Don't be stingy.
I'm a 25-year-old woman with a 28-year-old classmate who has liked me for years. While his personality is ideal, I've hesitated because he's significantly overweight, around 5'8" and 400 pounds. God damn. Despite his insecurities and occasional arrogance, I'm feeling lonely and considering dating him. As a petite person who values physical health, I'm unsure if I can overlook the lack of physical attraction despite his caring nature and ability to provide for me. Part of me, you know... Part of me feels like I feel like you could manipulate him into losing weight. And honestly, and like he's like my height and he's 400 pounds. I'm almost in the 180s. Okay, folks, I'm almost there. So I'm in the 190s right now. Y'all call me fat. Y'all call me, I see the comments. I see y'all commenting like, how come his other chin has a better beard than he does? Shut the fuck up. Okay? But yeah, no, I feel like, honestly though, I'm like, he does need to get his health on track though. Like, he's 28 now. Classmates, that's okay. He guys in like law school or something. No, I think he should lose weight, but like, is physical health, like, how much do you value physical health? Like, are you like a gym rat? Because like, yeah, if you're one of those types of people, you're probably not gonna be dating a fat person, in my mind. Usually abs stick with abs, as I like to say. Yeah, I feel like and here's the thing though, don't consider dating someone just because you're lonely, because at the end of it, you're just gonna get him hurt. If you're lonely, probably masturbate or something. Usually that usually fixes a lot of the problems. Just masturbate. Don't do like a sad jerk though. You're a woman. Don't do a sad flick. Do like, imagine what he'd look like skinny and then try that out. I don't know. Like, honestly though, yeah, I think he should work on his weight, but like, and that's something like, you can't just go up to him and be like, I would date you, but you're fat. So unless you lose X amount of weight, I will not date you, you know, and like, that's shallow. And so you're in kind of a situation. What I'm going to say here, that like, honestly, you're considering dating him because you're lonely, which is not something you should, in my advice, is not something you should do. Date someone because you want to date them and that they make you a better person. And like, when you're with them, they both make you feel good and like, you know, someone just make it to someone you care about. It sounds like, yeah, you're just lonely. And so what I would suggest is you can buy those vibrators with the suction cups at Walmart, but which is insane that they're locked, because I'm never gonna, I don't even, you know, if you're getting sex, just buy sex toys online, guys. Like, it's anonymous. They like Adam and Eve and like all these companies, like, they're aware that like, hey, no one wants to publicly show, if someone wants to buy like a fleshlight or a vibrator, people don't want to advertise that to the entire world. Most people don't want to advertise that shit to the entire world. So the fact that you'd have to get a Walmart employee, get them to unlock it, and probably take you to a register to check out your fucking vibrator is crazy to me. But now, it sounds like you just need a fucking vibrator since you're lonely. I'm like, y'all probably fix a lot of your problems. Because... yeah, especially, yeah, I don't know, like, yeah, I say, like, be nice to him, but, like, at the same time, like, he needs to know, like, you're not really interested, and you shouldn't just be interested because you're lonely. That's my advice, because he's gonna get his feelings hurt, and, like, honestly, you shouldn't lead someone along if you know, like, you really don't want to be with him. Like, it sounds like you're keeping him in your wheelhouse just for when this loneliness comes and you have someone, you know. And, yeah, it's it's not right for the other person to have to deal with that. It's not right of you to do that to someone. So like I said, like this is such a deal breaker for you. You just need to let it be a deal breaker. So just say like, I want to date a gym rat. Start going to the gym. Look for men there. You know, they will all be assholes, and most of them don't have nice faces. I got to tell you, if you go to a gym, look for the strongest guys you can see there. Look at their face. It's they have to compensate for the rest of them. I don't. I'm cute. I'm cute. However fat I am. So it's not my problem. It's your problem. It's that guy's problem. So as I like to say, figure it the fuck out. So. All right, a recording question. All right, had to ban a studio client I've worked with for 2 years. How could you handle this situation? I recorded a rapper for 2 years, but he no-showed without notice 13 times. Despite his rough background, I was patient and suggested he prepay for sessions to protect my time. He found this weird and later asked for a discount, which I refused due to his past behavior. He called me disrespectful and threatened to go to another studio. I blocked him after this. How do you handle clients like this? Could I have handled it differently? Honestly, yeah, you handled the situation good. He bailed on you 13 times and you didn't require any sort of prepay or down payment or like for a fee for like a no-show, no call, no show. You're doing everything right in regards to business. I have to imagine your time is valuable. And so, a lot of times what people would technically do in this situation would be charging a fee for like a no call, no show. Which is like, very normal. Like most businesses, or sometimes you work and it's someone's time, like you don't show up. Like, yeah, like this is hurting you. If you do this and he doesn't prepay for sessions, to protect your time, like basically he's booking time with you and then not using said time with you, wasting your time, and you're not getting paid for said time. You have to let them, you have to let people know like your time is valuable. You don't want to be like a horrible person about it, and you don't want to like cheapskate people, because like, if I charge someone hourly, a lot of times I'll like, because there's a lot of times like you're working solitary and you're like figuring things out on your own, and that's hard to be like, oh, I had to spend an extra hour or so working on this, like cut a couple hours, you always have to cut a couple hours off at the end anyways, but yeah, even if you say like maybe make them prepay for sessions, or even put a down payment, like pay half up front, and then after you show up, I'll require the other half later. You can do stuff like that. If the client's like, hey, this is not going to work I think this is weird and I don't like it, I'm going to go to another studio. Like other studios aren't going to deal with this shit either. Like if he's just not showing up to sessions, that like, he's supposed to put money into, like, no one's going to do that. And most other studios, like, I don't know how long you've been been doing it over 2 years, like, you just remember, like, you got your portfolio padded with mixes you can send people and be like, this is what I like, this is how I make music sound like, and like, yeah, at the end of the day, like, if he's not going to show up to sessions, you're not making money either way. So like you did the right thing. Either say prepay or put in like some sort of like half now, half later type of situation, or just tell him to find another studio. Because like, if he's going to, unless he's probably going to someone who just, got their Focus Right, Scarlett, and their, on their Fruity Loop system or whatever, like, if he wants that, like, he's just going to get a shittier product. So, like, don't sell your short out there. I'm like, yeah, if you want it professionally done and you want to hire a professional to do this for you, professionals require money. The term being a professional at something means you get paid to do it, not that, like, you do it all the time. It's like you get paid to do it. That's what a professional means, They're so good at what they do, you have to pay them for their time. Like lawyers rarely do shit for free like this, and like, yeah, it's weird because the music industry is all like, there's a whole renegade of people being like, well, you'll do it. We'll promote you and do it for exposure, but like exposure doesn't pay bills and shit like that. So like that. So no, you did the right thing. Here's what I would do if I had, if I was working with someone and they're recording with me, and after 13 times of not showing up to their session, I'd be like, hey man, you've no-showed a couple times and my time is valuable. If we're going to keep working together, unfortunately, what I'm going to have to do is either we need to make an agreement, either you pay for your sessions up front, before we even officially book you into the studio, or you pay half now, so when you don't show, you're not getting that time back, you're not getting that money back, or whatever, you know. It's how it is, you know. That's how businesses work, you know. Like restaurants, if you have a reservation and then don't show up, what are they going to do? They're just going to give your table to someone else, you know? Like, you know what? Someone who's going to pay, who's there, willing to pay money for a product, you know? It's just common business. Like, he's wasting your time. You're not getting paid for him wasting your time. It's not worth it. So you did the right thing. I don't know if blocking him was too much, because, because, like, you should still keep it open. Like, yeah, I'll still work with you, but, like, I'm starting to require and be like, I'm requiring every client to do this now. So it's not like just you, it's everyone. So, game is game,
I feel like a woman, a real woman.
Is attending the funeral of my friend's mom strange or supportive? The mother of a family friend sadly passed away last week. Her funeral is coming up and I was planning to attend, but when I mentioned it to my mom, she was like, "But you didn't even know her," the mother. It's true. I only briefly met her a couple times, whereas my mom knew her quite well, but in my mind, it was more about showing respect and being supportive towards our friend. While my mom hasn't said I shouldn't go, she made me feel like it was a weird thing to do. There's going to be a mass, and then the burial is going to be close family, so I plan to only attend the first part, of course. The last thing I want to do is be rude or intrusive towards my friend, so I'd like to know, am I in the wrong here? No. When my dad died, I had a lot of friends, show support, and we had a lot of friends come up for the funeral. Even like if you just go to the visitation or whatever, like, even if like I knew a lot of friends who like didn't know my dad, they just heard the stories about him, and so it's like they came, to support me, not necessarily to like show respect for my dad, because people have families and stuff like that, when someone dies, you need to support,
First of all, ride or die, bitch.
Because, it's really just supporting your friends. So I think it's not really strange. It's very much supportive. And I think you're going about it the right way. It's like, like you're being a good friend. You're going to the funeral to show support, because like funerals aren't just about the person it's mainly about the person who died. But like it's also like going there to support, the family and other friends, and stuff like that, because like, when someone dies, it's not like just like everyone forgets. Like, there will be people will come out of the woodworks, So it's just good to be supportive. More people, came to my dad's funeral for my mom. All of her friends showed up, and it's mainly to be supportive. Like, they didn't have like a friendship with my dad. There's just like their friend's husband, and stuff like that. So yeah, no, I would suggest, if you have a friend and like they had a parent or grandparent die, it is always welcome to always go and try to show support and stuff like that. Make sure you show support in the way, the grieving are actually, that's actually helpful. Not like, some people are like, let me know if I can do anything. I'm like, just leave me alone, dude. Like, my dad died. I don't want to fucking deal with you and shit like that. But like, people send you nice, people are nice things. So it's good to be supportive. Just make sure you understand and read the room and stuff like that, and don't go overboard. Like you're just like attending, the burial, the service or whatever, and if it's like close family only, just be respectful of that, like you're being respectful, you're being supportive, you're doing great things. You're a good person. Even if you didn't know the mom very well, like it's your friend, like you got to support your friend, it's called being a ride or die.
First of all, ride or die, bitch.
Why whenever Apple comes out with something new, everybody talks about it like it's the next big thing, but when the other companies already had it, nobody made a big deal. So for example, I didn't even know the Quest was even a thing until recently whenever the Apple Vision Pro became front page news. It seems like when Apple does something, it gets more recognition. Is it because Apple usually waits and observes new technology and features to work out the quirks other companies face and perfect it? I do notice a lot of their features that people say Android had for years feel better integrated in iOS when it does come. This isn't a dig on Android either. I love both Android and iPhone. Phone wars are stupid. So yeah, from what I know about tech, because I keep up with tech because I work in music and especially recording, and like tech really influences how music is, distributed, made, and everything in between. So like you always have to keep up with tech. Like my degree is in music technology, and I can probably say everything I learned, a lot of the stuff I learned in school, I wouldn't say outdated, but like technology has advanced, now, like people don't necessarily use control board mixers unless they're like like almost like a more intelligent mouse, usually, because people can do it straight from their computer and have like the mixers and then you just move it with their mouse or whatever, unless you need that fader thing, and then you figure it out. You have to figure your shit out, from there. And so I know about that. One thing I've noticed about Apple is when Apple releases, a product, like I'll think about like Touch ID, when you could use your thumbprint or fingerprint to open your phones, back in those days. Now that they just recognize with your face, basically, I think Android phones did have it beforehand, but like the thing is, like, it didn't work very well. When Apple waits until until they get it right and there's no problems with it before they really integrate it into their tech. Android will do it because most of how these tech companies work, like, have you ever heard of anyone who says like, yeah, I had a tech startup and then we got bought and now I'm a millionaire? Basically, companies like Apple, Google, and Samsung and stuff like that. Basically, it's like one little thing. Like, maybe let's pretend like it's the using your thumbprint to open, which probably has been tech around for a while, but how to integrate into a phone and still be able to make a profit is also another thing. Too. So like when Apple did, I remember when Apple did, I was like, I hope this isn't fucking annoying, because I was used to always kept my phone like no password or whatever. And then they did that. I'm like, I'm just going to keep it locked now because this thumbprint's so easy, where probably Androids took a little bit to get it, like it's stuff like that. It's like Apple waits until they get it right before they release it. And that's why when Apple does it, like, it's good because like Apple tries to make computers that are just very reliable. And like, you don't have to mess around. You can just go in and get work done. Nowadays, like, I like having like a Mac for like, all my work stuff because I use Final Cut Pro and Logic Pro. And those are Mac exclusives. They're Apple programs and stuff like that. So, I'm stuck on Mac for work. But then like, if I'm just like learning games or whatever, I think PCs are good. And then I prefer iPhones over Androids. Though I do have an Android I use as like a little emulator, a little game thing. But yeah, so I think that's kind of what it is, though, in regards to that. And that's why it's big news when Apple does something, but it's not that big of a deal when like another company has had this tech and been using tech like this for a long, long, long period of time. That's just, I think that's just how it is. I think if like Android phones, because I think Android also has the whole, like, it's an open, is it open source? Is that the right word? Open source, operating system. So like you can put it on like just cheap, crappy phones or whatever and stuff like that. So a little bit of a mix and matches. And that's also another thing. Like the iPhone, like you always know, like the new one, even if it's little flaws or whatever, like it'll be good. It'll survive you. It'll be a good phone for you. Android phones, like, unless you go like Samsung or maybe Sony, do they still make phones, like the big name brands, like, you get a decent quality product, assuming, but like, then there's like these cheap stuff. So a lot of cool tech talk that I know some Android PC users are going to leave a comment. So I'm excited for that. So,
that's my hole. That's where it spits.
I saw my sister cheat on her boyfriend, and now I'm stuck. My stepsister has been dating her boyfriend for about 2.5 months, while I've only met him twice, and he seems nice, introverted, and treats her well. I recently witnessed a concerning situation. During a concert, a group of guys approached us, and one of them seemed to hit it off with my sister, with her displaying flirty behavior. Later, I saw them in an intimate embrace, and I'm unsure what happened during the time they were alone. I feel the need to tell him about this, but I don't have his contact information besides where he works and his hours, which makes me hesitant to approach him. I care about my sister, but I can't ignore what I saw. So this is good. This is a good question. And then here is some great life advice. I'm giving you guys great. This is all great life advice. I know what I'm about. When you catch someone cheating on their partner, whatever the situation is, here is what you need to do, because that puts you in a situation like, do I tell him or do I not tell him? Because it puts you in that situation, and now you have to keep that secret, and you don't know you don't know the moral code. Like, should I tell him? Should I not tell him? It's my sister too. Should I protect my sister? Should I do the right thing? I don't know what to do. Here's what you need to do in situations like that. When you catch someone cheating and both parties in the situation, what you need to do, you need to confront your stepsister, tell her like, hey, I saw that little intimate embrace you had, or whatever you want to call it. And I really think if like it's not working out or whatever's going on in your relationship, like you need to at least tell him about this situation, what happened, because it's something that could really hurt him. And though I saw it, and I don't feel like I should be the one to tell him, because you shouldn't be the one to tell him. She needs to tell him. Like, that's the thing. Like, you know, if like you just didn't care about people, it'd be like, you need to tell him you're cheating on him. Like, that's the situation. Like, I'm not going to tell him, but you need to tell him, because this is bad about me. It's bad to me to keep this secret from him. That's how I would go about the situation, because she has to be the one to tell him. Like, that, it has to be her. I think it needs to be her. It's their relationship. You shouldn't have to get involved with their relationship. It's their relationship. She has to be the one to tell him, and you have to be like, hey, you need to tell him about this, or, you know, break up or whatever if it's not working out for you, because you need to do, because you know, the thing about being a ride or die.
First of all, ride or die, bitch.
Is that, you know, you got to embrace your ride or dies to do the right thing. And so you got to confront her about doing the right thing. Or you could even be in a situation like, look, I'm not going to tell you what to do in your relationship, but, you know, I saw that little intimate embrace you had there. And I know you're dating someone, so, you know, you need to do something about this, you know, like either tell him or break up with him, or, you know, because if it's not working out and you just want to fuck around, you need to do that instead of leading someone along like you are. I think that's what you need to do. So all you need to do is talk to her about it, and just, you know, even get her side or whatever's going on and stuff like that, and tell her she needs to do the right thing. That's all I think you need to do. And
Let's go full throttle.
All right, we got finally on to our last question. How do you date without getting attached straight away? I'm 30 years old, back in the dating scene, and trying a new approach. Instead of focusing solely on one person, I want to casually meet people before committing. I've learned from past mistakes of investing too much in the wrong person and don't want to go through that again. I've worked on my confidence and feel ready to have fun. However, I tend to get attached quickly, despite recognizing red flags. I have rejection sensitivity and attachment issues, and that impacts my dating life. Any advice with casual dating would be appreciated. Okay. I think the big thing you have to do is catch yourself before these things happen. Like, you know, I meet girls all the time, and I'll be like, she's the one, guys. I'm going to tell my mom about, you know, I'm going to marry her. You know, I'm just like, I'm going to go ahead and buy a ring. I'm like, we haven't talked to her, bud. Like, you haven't talked to her yet. Go talk to her, see if she'd go like out with you, and then like see if you hit it off. Like, do that. And then, you know, you got to be casual about it. You know, you got to go, you're the lady in the situation, recognize the red flags, like look for the red flags, and then decide to not get, you might get a little attached and you have to break it. Yeah, you got to make sure you know when to break it off, because, and rejection sensitivity, that's going to be rough, and attachment issues. Yeah. So, it looks like you're working on that. So you need to make sure you're still working on that. And, if you're going to go on dates, just make sure go on dates for yourself, and just, you know, get your vagina licked, you know, and and then eventually, if you're like, I want to see this person again, and then you see them again, and then eventually once you know they're going full throttle,
let's go full throttle,
then you go full throttle. Like, maybe wait for them, you know, date casually, don't get attached to anyone, wait for them to get attached to you, recognize that there's any red flags with them. And then if there's none, then you have a date. And then if you don't, then you can just get a cat or something.
Let's go full throttle.
But yeah, that's this episode of Cancel Schweezy, better known as the Lord's trademark favorite podcast. Thank you guys so much for listening. My social medias are under Schweezy, at TheSchweezy, and my music under Schweezy as well. Go check out my music over there. Cash App, PayPal, Patreon, all great ways to financially support us, and it's a big thank you for all of you who do. And don't forget all the free shit. Make sure you're subscribed, leave us comments, make sure you like our episodes, share them with your friends, write us reviews on Apple and Spotify, and leave us a star review too. Honky Vila butt drugs, and stay awesome. Believe it or not, Schweg isn't at home. Please leave a message at the beep. I must be out, or I'd pick up the phone. Where could I be? Believe it or not, I'm not home. Thank you for tuning in to Cancel Schweezy, the Lord's trademark favorite podcast, and joining me on this incredible journey. I hope you've enjoyed the valuable insights and engaging discussion I brought to your ears. To ensure you never miss an episode, hit that subscribe button now. By subscribing, you'll receive automatic updates whenever we release new content, keeping you in the loop with the latest episodes and topics. Subscribing not only guarantees that you'll never miss a beat, but also helps support our show. Your subscription plays a crucial role in helping us continue to bring you high quality content and maintain our podcast growth. So whether you're listening on your favorite podcast platform or watching our YouTube channel, take a moment to click that subscribe button. Join our community of passionate listeners and be part of the journey. Personally, I appreciate your support, and together, we can make this podcast even better. So don't wait any longer. Hit that subscribe button now and stay connected with us. Thank you for being part of our podcast family.